Hey everybody, welcome to Shutitdownboys podcast. Me and the gang get together after a long, hard day of sitting in our cushy office, having a good time inspecting some buildings.
Some of us.
And also, some of us, make some runs on the old med unit, do our thing on the old fire engine, whatever you're thinking. Anyway, next to me I got old Tubbs rocking a brand new free hat that he got from my wife out of a cardboard box that was sitting in our closet forever.
Baby.
Yeah, old Coburns. Then next to him in a wrinkly old white t-shirt, Tim. Dispatch extraordinaire.
Straight out of Dispatch.
Yeah.
I'm actually a big fan of the shirt.
Thank you.
Nice. You fucking nailed it, bro.
Yeah. I don't know if that's good coming from you, but
It's
hey.
not.
did. You
It's not.
definitely
I'll tell you
nailed
that right now. It's not good.
You know, Callaway liked my tie with a white beater.
Yeah.
He really liked it. He wanted me to continue that trend for
I mean, that's not
the
really
remainder of
not
our
really
podcast.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy as shit.
No. If I looked better.
Didn't your mom hate that one too?
Oh,
Yeah.
How does your mom feel about your persona?
I mean, it checks out.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay.
I mean, it
She
checks
knows.
out.
It's
She knows.
accurate. Yeah.
She raised me. Bro.
That's fair. Yeah.
After like 18, she was like, all right, be free.
Yeah,
Go out
she's
to
like,
the world
get the
and
hell out of
cause
my
chaos.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you did. And you did, dude.
Dude, I was going to say this.
Okay.
Murph sucks.
Yeah.
So bad. So bad. You know, he was showing us like did something at work.
Murph's not here. He's
He's
busy
not here.
doing something. Who knows, dude?
He did something at work and he's like, God,
Yeah.
and he was like trying to explain to me what hurt on him, like
Yeah.
what was kind of painful. So when we're in the engine, he's just telling this, and we go back to the station. We're hanging out, talking outside on the pad. When he comes out, shirtless,
Of course.
Of course. Yeah.
He's like, see, it looks, if you look right here, you can
You see
tell.
this super shredded muscle right
crazy
here? It
as
feels
shit,
weird
dude.
there.
And we were all like,
Yeah.
sure, whatever, dude.
I mean, we've
just
talked
put
about
your
it.
shirt on, dude.
Yeah.
Like put it back on.
You talk about
To be
I don't
fair.
like you. Every time that shirt comes off,
If
I hate
you looked like that, would you ever wear a shirt?
No.
Exactly.
absolutely not.
I'd be
No.
shirtless right
I
now.
wouldn't
Yeah.
care if you were, when you look like that, it's like you don't care about being naked.
Yeah.
It's
He's,
like, whatever.
He's also not vain about it at all.
No, at all.
Not at all. But I mean, dude, you talk about genetic lottery.
Yeah.
And he also works his ass off. We talked about this before. We slobber all
Yeah.
over Murph shirtless way too much.
Well, it's just the appreciation because it's like he said, just like 30 years
Oh, yeah.
of
Yeah,
constant
dedication.
effort and
Yeah.
dedication.
Yeah.
Because he did make a good point. He's like, you'll have some guys,
Sure.
and they'll be really in shape,
Sure.
and they'll have that moment in their life for like a
Yep.
year or two. They're like shredded.
Yeah.
But he's like, the guys that stay consistent are the
Oh,
ones
yeah.
that everyone's like, God, just gifted, whatever. It's like, no,
Yeah.
they've been doing that for
Oh, yeah.
their entire life
Consistency.
or whatever.
It's always crazy as shit to me where people put that much time into it, and then they just let it go. I'm like, buddy, all you had to do just hey, listen, if you're a fatty and you get shredded all of a sudden, if you stick to a diet and work your ass off, don't go back to the fat side. Yeah.
Sick, bro.
Anyway, today we got no Stu, we got no man in the dark corner. It's very dark over there. I didn't
It
turn
is.
the light on. And Murph's out, family stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
Excuses. But today, me and the gang are getting together because it's been a hot debate. These firefighters, it's been a thing since I hired on. Basically, old school firefighters versus like new school firefighters. The
Right.
older generation versus the newer generation.
Kind of like the pros and cons.
Kind of, yeah. Which is pros and cons to each.
Right.
Old guys were real mean. Always had a dude on them. And I also I got a new captain. Shout out to Barnes.
Yeah,
I was
shout out to
was asking him some stuff, and old Slampson. I was asking both of them some stuff yesterday. Nice,
Old Samson.
good coffee.
He was Seven's guy.
Yes,
originally,
he was
right?
Seven's
Yeah.
guy for a while. A pole slider.
Yeah, pole slider.
Big pole slider.
Up and down them all day.
Anyway, old school versus new school. But first, real quick, shout out to you guys. 483 Patreon members, 4,262 YouTube subscribers. That's wow.
Kind of crazy.
Crazy
nice.
as shit.
Crazy.
The Patreon episodes are hilarious. I sent a Barnes was like, my new captain was like, I've never, he's like, I haven't watched much of the Patreon, and I was like, that's because you got to pay for it. So we
I
can
don't know
say,
how to get it, bro.
so you can say whatever you want, as long as you say with all due respect.
Yeah.
So I sent him a teaser. I sent him a Patreon episode of Firefighter Beef,
Nice.
and he
Oh,
was
yeah.
like, this is awesome. Immediately.
yeah, dude.
Him and the museum lady, shout out to Dana. They were,
no
they
way.
were watching it together. I was like, hey, you close the door. Yeah, he was like, hey, I'm watching the...
There's a bunch of white shirts out here.
Yeah, he was like,
Look
hey,
out.
I'm watching Helen's podcast. They were watching it together downstairs in the fire museum. I was like, hey,
It's
turn the
inevitable.
speaker down a little bit, for God's sake.
There's children around here.
Yeah, Jesus. So anyway, old school versus new school. What do we got here? I got one right off the rip. Not as aggressive nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a
lot different.
We've all heard that. Like, I think
Yeah.
with all of there's like 7 chiefs on a fire scene these
Yeah.
days, man. Which is, it's a good thing and a bad thing because, like we talked about with Schroeder's fire.
Yeah.
If there would have been another chief, another safety guy walking around,
Right.
maybe they would have. Surely they would have seen some things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's lessons learned.
Definitely lessons
that you
learned.
don't do. But that's the one thing that I will say is kind of a con about it. It's like, it's almost, when do you stop being as progressive, right? Is there a point where it's like, hey, it's kind of like over-regulating.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
You've pushed the boundaries too far, so now it's actually hurting us.
Yes.
We're not able to practice our skills
Yep.
or take the proper risks you're supposed to.
Yep.
You
Well,
know?
I mean, our nowadays the academies are all about your own personal safety. I think they said anything
yeah,
about that 30 years ago. It was, hey, that's on fire. Get in there and put it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now it's hey, don't go too far in. Hey, look for these signs. Hey, watch out. Hey, there's a dog.
Yeah,
Which if
that's
I always said this, dude, if I was a chief, which I never will be,
Never chief.
About to try out
never
for
being a
promotion.
chief.
What do you mean?
Bro,
You
It's
are
the first
promoting
step.
and you
Stop
It
lied.
is
right
the
there.
first step.
You lied to the good people. You should apologize to everyone. Holly,
Guys,
he's taking the test
I'm
in
taking
like
the test.
3 weeks.
yeah.
The driver operator test.
Learned a lot.
You talk about put some LBs on, dude.
Brother.
Become a driver. We'll
Brother.
be amputating those toes and feet, dude.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll be putting you on metformin.
I'm trying to emulate Murph,
I don't think
emulate Murph.
Listen, you ever heard the story of Icarus? Yeah, that's you.
He's flying. That's Murphy, dude.
Yeah, you're trying to catch up to him. Those greasy
Too
wings
fast,
of
too
yours
fast,
are gonna
too fast.
fucking melt.
But yeah, that to me is like what would be the con of the new school, which
Yeah.
is when can you say, hey, we gotta dial it back a little bit on this whole like safety crap, because I understand personal safety, but also because we've been on remember a couple years ago a trench rescue. that
Oh, dude, yeah.
too
Yeah,
much
yeah.
crap about.
Thank God that was my Kelly day.
You know,
Thank God.
one of the big things was, and me and Murphy talked about it because we made it together, was we go into house fires all the time.
Yeah,
We dive at the bottom of rivers all the time.
yeah.
At what point do you say, hey, this is short up enough, go in and get them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? It was just a kind of a cluster, if you will. And also there was so much commotion around the idea of getting guys in there safely.
Dude, that
where it
was
was like,
a-
hey, risk a lot, save a lot, right? That's
Yeah.
like the first thing you learn.
Yeah, that was that was a primo example of too many thick chiefs, not enough Indians. You know, yeah, that was bad. I remember you guys telling me about that. I was like, why don't you just grab him out of the hole?
Yeah.
Like, we
Well,
tried.
Was
yeah.
he
That was
was he
the-
buried? Like I didn't hear about this.
To his knee.
Yeah,
His knee, like
knee,
one
Tim.
knee,
His
one
knee.
one
Like-
leg was free.
Like one leg and an ankle, bro.
What?
Yeah. But it was impinged enough to where he's not able to really get himself out without
Yeah.
digging himself out with a shovel. He didn't
Dude,
have one.
they
And it was,
started-
Y'all didn't throw him a shovel down there.
yeah,
That's exactly what happened.
yeah. Helicopters started flying in. They got they got the ladder truck stuck.
It was.
I did hear about
those
this.
Chiefs
Okay.
they got out of their car with their whiteboards and started setting them up. They were busting open brand new dry erase markers. I was like, oh, this is bad. This is not gonna be good.
Yeah.
and it wasn't.
Yeah, that's a.
It turned a 30-minute snatch and grab into a, I don't know, 5-6 hour evolution.
That's the worst I've ever felt after a call.
Because you guys were just it was like July.
Yeah.
We were in the sun baking
Yeah.
in this huge construction.
The chiefs are all under the tent with those air-cooled fans.
Me and Murph were literally in gear the entire time.
Oh, yeah. What do
And
you
it
boys
was-
want to get for lunch?
Me and Murph got back. I was like, I didn't want to say anything, but I was like, man, I feel like crap. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I do too.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. You're sweating your ass off like that. All right.
I got one. How about
I'm listening.
my biggest one would be I hate being PC.
Oh.
That's one thing I loved about old school.
Yep.
Old school was
Yeah.
like
Say whatever you want.
Yeah, leave your feelings at the door.
Yep.
Everyone here is going to have to hear insults and slurs from everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
Everybody.
Everybody's going to hear
Women
fun
included.
stuff.
They were meaner back then.
They
too.
were meaner. They were a lot tougher back
Had
then.
a
those
lot
broads,
more
dude.
tenacity, like you like to say.
Yeah. A lot
And
more
it-
grit to them. Yeah.
It thickens
Sand
up your
down
skin for the citizens we
Yeah,
go deal
dude.
with too, man. We
Yeah.
get cussed out all the time.
there.
About them.
Especially Tim on the phone up there. Dude.
So much. Oh, it's all recorded.
Oh, man. You dispatchers, dude. I'm telling you, man. I saw a dispatcher that I hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Schmall.
Oh, yeah.
He was.
He's coming out.
He was
Yes.
working. Yeah, he was working out. Is he about to come out?
Of the closet. Yeah.
Nice. I can see it now.
Shout out to Nall.
Schmall.
Or Schnall.
He
yeah.
was
Jesus.
working out, I guess, getting done with his long. So he's worked dispatch 20 days in a row now.
Ooh.
Yes,
How does he do that?
overtime and just I don't know, killing himself inside. He looks like a long haul trucker now.
Yeah, that looks terrible, man.
He's been up there 7 years.
Yeah, he went up there right after he got hired in.
It has aged
Yeah.
him. Which my new captain Barnes, he was up there for years.
Was he?
He's the same age as me.
No way,
Barnes
Yeah,
dude.
dude. Barnes looks. Yeah. Not to say
believe it.
Shout out to
he's lived the
Barnes,
life.
everybody.
We'll say that.
He doesn't like the sun. He's like, I
Yeah.
really like the sun. I'm like, buddy, we got to get you some
That's
sun.
crazy.
That dispatch ages you, dude.
He didn't live a hard life though, or anything.
No,
like
he loves
that, you
video
know?
games and indoors.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Barnes. He told me that the other day. All right, I got to save that for the. I got some things I never knew about Barnes.
Yeah.
I'll save that. But anyway, so what'd you say? Safety? No, not PC.
PC. I hate the idea of like having a, in the station.
Which is
I'm not talking
crazy.
about like out in public.
Yes.
Of course, you stay professional.
Bedside manner.
But there is an element to it where you're like, you got to kind of tiptoe around stuff sometimes. It's like, man, fuck that.
We got in trouble like 3
hate
times
that.
for saying stuff at the station.
Dumb. It's
Yeah.
like, man, like we're literally working a job
Yeah.
where it's the most dangerous job you can choose to
Yeah,
do.
The water
as a
department?
profession.
Nice. Yeah. It's so funny because you're spot on. You come back to the station and you just went on a call where you saw a guy decapitated with
Yeah.
a machete or killed by dogs.
Yeah.
Or just looks like someone exploded inside of a car.
Yeah.
Like all these things, and then you're sitting there talking about it, and you're like, you just want to unwind.
That's how
and-
you
Yeah,
get
that's
it
how you
off.
decompress.
That's how you decompress. But PC. That's
If a
good
camera's
one,
on
man.
you after that, it's like no one knows the background.
Or the
You know what I mean?
or
It's like-
some supply person's walking through the station restocking med supplies.
Overhear
and
some
they're
stuff.
Like, the firefighters said shit. It's like, yeah, the firefighters just all
Yeah.
got covered in shit during
Yeah.
that house fire. They were talking
Yeah.
about it.
It's that kind of stuff where
yeah.
you're like, back in the day, it would have been a totally different story. It would have been like, shut the hell up.
One of those old captains would have punched that supply lady in the face, dude. Yeah, get out of here, you dumb broad.
And then it would have been like, a he said, she said type deal. But
Yeah.
yeah,
He would never-
that's one thing that I do not like about the fire service now.
Yeah.
If I could change anything, it would
Yep.
be keep your opinions to yourself about what we say.
Sure.
Because you're not going out seeing and dealing
Yeah.
with all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
If I worked at Best Buy, then maybe I might be held a little bit more accountable for
Of course.
letting a bad word fly. But,
Yeah.
like
You know
this
about this
isn't
piece
that.
of shit
You know?
computer?
Yeah.
The Geek Squad guy, like, God damn, motherfucker.
Son of a bitch, bring me this
They probably
stupid
do that. Yeah.
Oh, I
The hell you been watching
any
on this
customer
computer?
service, man.
dumbasses.
Yeah.
Can't fix their own stupid computer.
Can't turn it off, turn it back
Yeah,
on.
Yeah.
Control Alt Delete for God's sakes. Also quit
Factory reset out for all you guys out there.
Quit downloading
do
on
it.
LimeWire. Did you have LimeWire as a kid?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
And it was kind of like LimeWire was brief.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It
A
wasn't.
couple of years.
It had
wasn't
its,
long.
I downloaded quite a few movies from LimeWire.
See, I didn't ever. All the stuff I had was music. I
mean,
was
I
too
had-
young for the.
I think we've talked about
That
this
time.
before, but dude, I'd be at night. Everybody would go to bed. I'd be like, I'm up playing Diablo. Alt tab.
Do you have dial-up?
Alt. Oh yeah. So I would alt tab, Diablo out or whatever, minimize Diablo.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to LimeWire and type in lesbian cheerleaders or something. And then
Something like that.
get nothing specific to that, and then get it downloading
Right.
at night, so that while everybody was gone the next day.
Be ready for you.
Whew, talk about
It's just music.
dehydration. I needed a damn 1,000 bag, man. Woo-wee. Anyway,
Back in the day.
back to it. No, I would never do that now. Mainly because I like my computer too much. Roast that thing, dude. Tim, you got anything?
Yeah, they frown upon it, but hazing versus not hazing. Not
Oh, yeah.
not even like, being just an asshole to people, but just giving
Right.
them crap.
Yeah.
To me,
yeah.
it builds a bond. I mean,
Yeah, it does.
This dog's distracting me.
He's fine.
They,
Gunther, chill out, buddy.
what?
Fucking haze the shit out of you.
There's, in my mind, there's one station and one shift that is kind of known for giving new guys a hard time.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where, like, man, if they make it through that, they feel closer to everybody else
yeah.
in the whole place.
Absolutely,
As
man.
opposed to, like, you show up out at sixes or something and nobody talks to you.
Yeah.
I mean, which one's better?
Yeah.
Interaction with the guys
Yep.
or being ignored?
Absolutely.
Which
And-
one has more culture?
Yeah.
That one that's messing with the rookies has a lot more culture.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And that's kind of what old Barnes brought that up yesterday, and he was like, "Man," he said, "cell phones ruined the fire service, in my
Yes.
opinion."
You think? You think that's what did it?
It didn't help because now everybody's just on their phone in the living room, and he's like, "We used to mess around, have a good time."
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, I
you'd,
see
you'd
that.
play pranks on each other, you'd play games or whatever, you'd all sit down and like watch a movie together, make dinner together, you'd go outside. And he also said private dorm rooms ruined it.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, he was like, I hate the private dorm rooms. And I said,
That's because he wants to be seen in his underwear.
apparently,
His big hair and
You see his
chest.
back hair.
Look, I do. I see kind of what he's saying,
Yeah,
but the cell phone thing, man, like at our station,
sure.
we are constantly messing with each other.
Of
And
course.
with
Yeah.
all the shifts.
Of course.
That's every shift, and it's a very young station.
Yes.
for the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
I can kind of see what he's talking about, but also some of that's just like, man, what guys are you working with? Are you working with guys that like to
True.
mess
Yeah.
around with
He
each other?
didn't
and
really
fun?
have a crack squad out there at sixes,
Yeah.
But that was one of his main reasons for like leaving. He was like, the camaraderie and stuff, and probably tired
Yeah.
of getting woken up at night. by
He
the
probably
damn
likes the
band.
group shower too, though.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
He's like, I miss a group shower.
Get my back for me.
Easy, buddy. Yeah. But I think but he also had some complaints. He was talking about a
Okay.
medic who would be on his iPad all day watching
yeah.
South Park.
Oh yeah.
You know who I'm talking about? Yeah. He was like,
Yep.
it'd be like 10 o'clock at night. Everybody's trying to go to bed, and he's got his nightlight on. He's over there watching South Park with no headphones on.
Oh, dude, talk about the most obnoxious
the
thing you
ultimate
can do.
dick move. And then he'd leave to go on a call
And just leave it.
and leave it playing, leave his light on, and be gone for 2 hours. They'd
yeah.
be like, God. You know,
Yeah, I'd be so mad. Dude.
that iPad would be
I'd go hide
snapped
it.
in half.
I'd go hide that iPad.
I'd
Throw
snap
it-
that thing right over
throw it
my
in the
damn
freezer.
knee. Yeah. Yep. Drop it in the toilet. Something,
Now the
dude.
private dorm rooms. I don't know. The only time
listen.
you're in the dorm rooms is when you're going to sleep.
I
Yeah.
love
Even at old ones, it was like that. You didn't go in there unless you were going to bed.
Old Ones was awesome. It was a cave, man.
Dude, it was a cave. But the only problem was those old guys would go to bed at like 7.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
You had to go
"Shit,
make
I
your
didn't make my
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they'd complain, like, turn that damn light off. You're like, shut up. God. You're on the truck. You're going to sleep for 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
On the truck or truck 74. And
Yeah.
that was also when Engine 1 didn't do shit either.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Old Ones.
Dude, old ones.
Sandwiched right between 11s and
Dude,
7s, man.
They
Hell
had
yeah.
me out there a bunch my rookie year. I was like, what do we do? They're like, nothing.
Yeah, this is it.
You're not allowed to go in the TV room.
You go outside and you tie knots.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
I'd be
right?
I'd be tying knots and like working out, and then next thing I do, I look at the clock and it's 9 a.m. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep. Got to kick up in that chair out there in the bay next to the ice machine.
yep,
That's what I do.
yeah, that's where
what I
everybody
do.
would hang out,
Or go
man.
hang out with Ash while he sat in the
air mask room.
Playing,
When it's
playing
like
Clash
a-
of Clans.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
when it's 1,000,000 degrees out in the bay and you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I gotta find AC that's not inside the TV room.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
They watch.
They
I don't
watch.
know.
They watch.
They watch a lot.
How about this? Old school. They only went to fires. How awesome!
Super
is that?
old school.
Dude.
How
Man.
awesome is
That's
that?
why those dudes love palling around so
Yeah.
much. They're like, you look in those old ass log books. They're like, smoked 10
Yeah.
packs of cigarettes,
Yeah.
smoked a brisket.
Yeah.
Made
That's
one
it.
fire this week.
Dude, they fit like on those old log books. They fit fucking 20 days on one page. I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, checked equipment. That's it. Next day,
We used to get paid, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
whatever the salary was.
$8 an hour.
you had to have a side job if you were a firefighter. I'm like, because you guys just slept all day at work. Yeah. You're like, we can't pay these dickheads too much money.
Do you think? Here's a question.
I'm listening.
Do you think EMS has?
Are the worst? Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely sucks sometimes. EMS sucks sometimes. But do you think the idea of merging a fire department has ruined
Our fire department?
Like, no, most
100%, dude.
fire departments.
Most.
Because think about it. I shouldn't say most, but it used to be. It was so hard to get a spot at a fire department.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like super hard.
yes.
Now it's not.
Yeah.
I wonder why. That's everywhere.
Yeah.
That is everywhere.
It's yeah.
Unless
yeah.
you take a non-certified test and people clearly don't have any education in it, haven't put any time.
So you're saying now it's easier to get hired on in the fire department?
Yeah, dude.
Because
like,
they need bodies, because they merged EMS.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of it has to do with the fact that you're
sure.
busier running EMS calls, and now the job everybody knows. That's in every book everywhere. Where it's like,
Yeah.
it's not just
you are-
being a fireman anymore.
So you're saying less people want to do the job because it's
I
more
think
EMS
so.
based now.
I really
Yeah.
do think so. I think so
Yeah.
because they hear guys, talking about what they
Complain
don't.
about it.
What they don't know though is it still is quite literally the best job in the world.
Sure.
But I do think that merge of EMS into the fire department has kind of ruined, in a way, the way fire
I
departments
think it's
used to
backed
function.
away from like a strict focus on fire.
Sure.
You got less
Yeah.
time to train, less time to do stuff fire related because
Yeah.
you're running med calls.
All
But
day
look
long.
at like New York Fire Department, right? Like they're one of the few that said you come here to just be a fireman or
Yeah.
you come here to be EMS.
Yeah.
And they can't. They turn people away all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
don't
my
know.
opinion.
I don't know enough about it, man. I don't know the data.
Interesting point you're trying to make.
You see what I mean?
I think I know what you mean. But
You mean EMS sucks? We shouldn't.
yeah, basically
nobody
you're
should
saying,
do it.
Yeah, you're saying we should.
I think that.
yes.
That doesn't mean everybody, because we know plenty of firemen that love
Oh,
that
there's
shit.
plenty. They got a hard on for
Dude.
Narcan and thousands
Riding
of
the lightning. Shout out
lactated
to Harville.
ringers and AEDs, whatever the hell else. Anyway, but it's so funny you talk about this because Tim, yesterday I went by the station to pal around on my lunch break.
Yeah.
And I was going to hang out with you, and immediately Tim, he's like, listen to what they're trying to do with the med units now. I was like, buddy,
That's not what I'm here for.
and I let him go for like 15 or 20 minutes or whatever. And I was like, hey, I said, I didn't come here to talk about
We
this.
got business.
I said, this is why I left the station. Like, God, he was like, they're talking about taking away a driver on the med unit spot, and then all EMS is now filled. I'm like, hey, buddy, shut up.
Don't care.
Talk about
His
it with
prevention now.
Yeah, talk about it with C shift in the morning. I don't care.
Hey, you go out there and see them. Do they ever come to the headquarters to see you?
Nope. You guys were there
Selfish.
yesterday.
We literally went
Selfish.
yesterday.
You were there yesterday. Didn't even
Y'all
come into
haven't-
my office.
Yeah, y'all
They
didn't come and see me
canceled
either.
us, bro.
You guys were
There was
there.
no birthday party.
I thought
They
y'all were
canceled.
there.
Yeah, they canceled the birthday
okay.
party.
Y'all are a half a mile from headquarters. You don't need a birthday party to go by there. It's in your
looked up-
territory.
I looked up and there was a bunch of people looking at us at the window. I was like, nah.
That
let's go.
sad dispatch
Yeah,
window.
yeah, I'm out.
Yeah. Dude, that dude
Get me
talking
outta
about
here.
fucking depressing
Yep.
window, that thing. Let's see. What do we got here? To try to tiptoe around things. That kind of goes with people. Listen.
PC stuff.
Being sensitive.
Listen, I called somebody in the office a fatty the other day. I probably won't make it much longer up there, right? Yeah. But I was talking about somebody just being rotund,
Yeah.
disgusting, and like just just taking up all the AC,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
you know, blowing the shitters up, and
Yeah.
just putting a burden on society.
Okay.
You know, that's what you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call them out.
Hey, Tubbs.
Yeah. Look at me.
You're
You
jamming
call,
us up.
You call me Chubbs. Now I'm huge.
Well, let's not go to that part.
Shredded.
I'm absolutely
Yeah.
shredded.
Yeah. No,
I'm the
but
pinnacle of being a fireman right now.
yeah. I don't know. I want to know if, let me know if your department has a physical fitness test, a yearly physical fitness test.
Oh, like a standard.
That's what I
type deal.
want to know.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time we tried to implement it, and all these big old thick union guys were like, no, you can't do that. That's illegal. And it's like, what?
It's illegal to hold you guys accountable.
Some of these old drivers are so fat they're about to have
Yeah.
to get their damn feet amputated.
Do you think it should like it should scale with your rank? Right.
No.
So
No.
like if you make drivers like, all right,
No.
mile in 10.5 minutes, not 8.
I mean, I
You
think
get it?
it should.
You guys
Yeah,
get it?
no, I-
Yeah,
no.
I think you should get a little
You
bit of
guys suck.
a
That's
break
awesome.
on like age wise.
Okay.
Like as you go up in age, I think it should scale.
Right.
But no.
You're not saying like anything impossible. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm-
it would be
yeah,
like the
standard.
equivalent of our
Yeah.
entry exam.
Yeah.
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 Which is like
That's my old department had an annual physical
Yeah.
thing you could do, and
Yeah.
I mean it wasn't hard, and you got I think like $120 over the span
What?
of a year. Yeah.
Oh.
So I mean it was spread out,
Okay.
but
Like
yeah.
if you did really good.
that's less than a
No,
dollar
it's just
a
like
day.
it's like you pass it,
Oh.
and you get like a little bonus.
like a little stipend
bad.
check. or
Yeah, I
whatever.
mean it's just an excuse to get people to go do
Yeah.
it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know, man. It was, it was the same in the military. All these chubsters just walking
Yeah.
around base, dude. They had tennis shoes on because their feet were so fat they couldn't fit them in boots. Dude, I mean,
Yeah, that's pretty.
we got to tighten up.
Do you think there should be like a? We were talking about this the other day. Should there be like a weight limit for guys that can go inside of a structure fire?
Oh, interesting. Hey, get on the scale.
You know what I mean?
Right
Like if
before
your
they're about to go.
BMI is a certain amount, like like even jack dudes, like, nah,
Yeah.
sorry, dude, it's gonna be impossible to get you out if you go down.
Oh yeah, I never thought about that.
You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, that's another thing. If you're a big guy, we get
Yeah.
You go. You're already
yeah.
heavy as shit with gear
Yeah.
on, and then you're 285 without gear.
Yeah, I thought about that. If
We
our-
gotta get a bariatric. We gotta start. We'll probably start making bariatric engines. That's what we'll start doing. They got a big winch for these fat firefighters that we gotta pull
It's
out.
got
Yeah.
a little lift that lowers them down to the ground. So
they
just
are
step
bigger.
Off.
They're making the captain seats bigger.
They would
I
do-
saw that.
yeah.
Good.
That's
Those
what I'm
cabin seats are tiny.
They are
Good.
tiny. They're very, very tiny. Which is hilarious. They're trying to change up there. They're like,
Yeah.
They are so tight. dude.
Uh-huh.
oh yeah,
But also, what are you going to do with your overweight fire guy that can't go interior?
He's gonna go pump.
yeah,
He's gonna go.
That's
do
what you got a driver
accountability
for.
board.
yeah.
You got
Eventually, you'll just have a bunch of fat guys standing outside, not going in.
Fire departments.
true.
No, see, nothing about exterior.
Okay.
Nothing about. There's a lot of work to do on exterior.
Yeah.
Right.
Your brain thinks in
Watch.
interesting ways.
I feel like the better thing would just have like an annual physical.
yeah,
Yeah.
Was you just go get checked up? It's like, hey, your cholesterol's a little high.
Bro, we're
hey,
just
your blood
talking
pressure's up.
I'm just talking about perfect world, bro.
Okay.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Hey, I like
Interesting.
it. Let's,
I'm not even talking about
Lean,
world.
short, very lightweight fireman.
I'm not talking about huge hogs.
Huge. Yeah.
I'm not even talking about like a crazy physical test. Where,
Yeah.
I'm talking about just a standard.
Can you run a mile in under 10 minutes? Can
Exactly,
you, like
yeah.
stuff like that.
Give me 3 pull-ups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like nothing too. I'm not expecting you to be a damn jocko.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know, man. It's so infuriating because we're looked at differently.
Yeah.
Like the public looks at us differently. As like this person's here to help me. This person's here to save me.
Right.
And then you got this guy who can't even tuck his fucking shirt in. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, the state could step in and be like,
Sure.
this is a law here.
Yeah.
This is a state law
Oh, yeah.
that all firemen will be held at this, standard
Yep.
or whatever. I think Florida just did something. Murphy was saying
Interesting.
Florida just made it to where fire departments are allowed to do 24/72s. So they're
Interesting.
trying
Huh.
or something like that. Something to that effect. Fact check me. But Murphy said, or a fact check Murph. He was bringing this up because I was like, Murphy, that's like, there was an article that got shared
Yeah.
a while back, and he was like, no. It was like at a state level they were talking about
like
this.
all departments in Florida.
Yeah.
Murph can't even
Yeah.
make it to a damn podcast, much less research fucking.
Well,
proper
he was
stuff.
like, talking about how like I guess the state recognized the health benefits
Yeah.
of like firemen actually being able to be off for
Which
more
is
than
weird.
just
Just
2 days.
Florida of all the states.
yeah, Florida. Yeah.
Shout
All
out to Florida.
Yeah.
Dude. How
Yeah.
rad would it be to work in Florida?
It's never too late.
You could literally catch alligators there.
I've
all
lived
day
there.
long.
It's
You
not
can catch alligators here.
The
It's
fire
not-
department only catches alligators.
It's not what you think. Yeah, it's not a bunch of fucking
and
hot chicks.
constrictors or whatever the hell. Or what was the snake?
Constrictors.
That's all
Boa
crazy.
constrictor.
I believe they
python.
have
Python, Burmese pythons. That's what it is.
Is that they have some type of like people just letting their
Yeah.
like people just let their snakes go and
Yeah.
let their iguanas go.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
can adapt to that.
Yeah, there is a feral group of it's either iguanas or tegus that live
Yeah.
out in Florida
Yeah.
that people just let go, and they have come together, and
It's
it's a
insane.
giant feral group of lizards that
Yeah,
live
it's
out
awesome.
there. Yeah, they like attack cats and stuff.
Holy
No
shit.
way.
Yeah, they're huge, man. They're giant lizards.
That's a problem.
That's like a Komodo, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything's
Right?
killing the like native wildlife. You know,
Yeah.
like birds and other native snakes and crocodiles.
Shit,
alligators
they're not
and shit.
native anymore.
That's true.
They're fucking extinct. Bro.
Yep.
Now
Anyway.
the iguanas and boa constrictors or not boas, whatever. What are they?
right.
Burmese pythons.
Back to it, dickheads.
All right, sorry. Firefighting,
Yeah.
pythons,
Pythons.
lizards.
I got an article from this is Colby Davis. This is 22 June 2022. Old school versus new school: the generational divide.
Okay.
And I highlighted a couple things in here. Brotherhood, tradition, loyalty, constant learning, passing information on through the generations, and mainly being there and prepared for citizens. If you've been in the fire service for any amount of time, you understand when I say old school generation is completely different from the new school generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baby boomers. You know, what
Yeah.
generation is a baby boomer?
So that is anyone after that. Basically, the people that went to World War II had babies, and the people that were the babies are the baby boomers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, you
So 60 years old.
yeah,
Basically.
you gotta this book. We might have to do an episode on it.
Oh, yeah?
but it's the one that I talked about where the guy was like kind of blaming women for like the
Yeah.
sissified generation
Yeah,
of men.
yeah.
But, which it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But the book's called No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's pretty it's an interesting read. But yeah, it's so funny, dude. He basically was like, listen, all the men went off to war, you know.
Died.
They died. A lot of them died. They never came back. But like, whenever all the men went off to war, women became teachers,
Right.
and women became the authority figure in the household.
Factory workers and all sorts of
Factory
stuff.
workers, everything. But like these young boys were taught to seek the approval
Of mom.
of women.
Right.
Yeah, and it just kind of set them up for failure to make them like just a soft generation and be like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you okay? I won't do any. I didn't mean to do anything wrong.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, part of me is like that, where I'm like,
Sure.
I'm like, I'll make sure my wife's okay all the
Yeah,
time.
of
Like, hey,
course.
you all right?
Yeah.
You know, I'll ask her. And I don't remember my dad doing that a lot.
It's a different generation.
Yeah.
Also, I guess what I do remember of my dad was probably years of them being married.
Yeah.
And then I started remembering stuff. And that's like,
Yeah.
I think that age is coming.
Yeah,
where
you're coming in at the end of it.
I already had. Bree just got on to me about that podcast where I talked about her asking a dumbass question. Nice. And I made her feel like it. And I was like, she asked me what I was doing. And I was like,
Doing a podcast,
I'm
dummy.
like blowing bubbles or so. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm blowing bubbles, dumbass. And it was like I'm mowing the grass. Or whatever. I love you, baby. But it was funny. She was like,
Yeah.
It was not a dumb question. I was like, it was a dumb question.
Did you read her my comment the other day? Whenever Tim was like, "Is Bree really Native American?" I was like, "Yeah, man. She loves a peace pipe. That's why she's always got that damn vape on her."
Oh, dude, her sister died laughing at our podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Watching, what was it?
Old Tammy?
we were damn it, what were we talking? It was the one where Melissa came in.
Yeah.
And we were talking about being doctors and shit.
Sure.
And we were like, how long does it take to be a radiologist? and it was like fucking 18 years, and we were like, nah. Don't give a shit.
Immediately we're like, nah, next.
Yeah.
How much one of those guys scooping poop make?
She was dying because she was like, we were like, what the fuck is external medicine and
dude.
internal medicine? Like,
Melissa's like inside and outside. Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
Of
I'm an
course.
EUC. Basic. Yeah. Oh, dude.
Oh, man.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all right, back to it. This Samson actually brought this up. So big stations versus like smaller stations.
Okay. Oh, big stations all day.
You like a big station?
I like a station that has more guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like stations where it's just three of us.
Yeah. So I think he was talking
Don't
about
like
like just the actual structure itself,
The size
like,
of the station.
But
Oh.
like 5 people at station, because Station 7 used to have the rescue and the engine crew, so 5 people there.
I think, man, it's just temporary.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy the chaos. Mm-hmm. Give me a small, tight station, bro.
I don't know. I kind of like my own space away from you. Even when I closed my door, it wasn't enough.
Oh,
And that was kind of the thing about it, like dickhead. Station 11 was nice because we would all be good about working out together.
Yeah.
Afternoon coffee, morning coffee, going on runs together, doing our own thing. But like whenever I was in school, I would go to my room and close the door so I could actually work on shit. Or doing this podcast, I would close my door and go work on.
Be left alone.
Yeah, I could be left alone. People are like, hey, what are you doing in your room? I said, I'm editing the podcast, man.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up. What's taking you so long?
That is a good point. Depending on like your lifestyle outside of work, like if you have an extra job where you're constantly having to do stuff on a computer or something like that, you might want a big station so you can get away.
For sure.
Because if you can't, dude, if you're like me, even getting away doesn't do it sometimes. Because I can just feel it in my body, like go do something with somebody right now.
Yep. Oh, I know. I recall.
I'm like, what's Dylan up to?
Yeah.
Yep.
You were just like random people would just come by like on truck 74 and they'd scare me in my room. I'm like,
Would you coerce him into doing
You're
that?
like, yo, you know what he really loves?
yeah.
Being surprised.
Being surprised.
Does not have a heart condition. He loves when you scare the shit out of him. Dude, speaking of freaking scaring me, I was doing pull-ups yesterday, crushing it in the old dispatch dungeon.
Yeah.
And then I get down from the pull-up bar and I turn around and I'm like, I got my headphones in.
Yeah.
And there's old scary Larry behind me, old Schmeidel. He's just staring at me, dude. He's like,
Did he say anything?
he was like, do you always work out up here? I said, yeah. He said, every day? I said, yeah. He was like, well, that's cool. I said, okay.
Did you tell him you're allowed to?
you later,
You can do it too.
Yeah. And he's like, and he went to walk away and he's like, you only got a half rep on that last pull-up. I was like,
to failure, mother.
I was
That's
like,
awesome.
That's what Murph said. Murph was like, you got a tough selection of friends up there. I said, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad, Murph. But dude, he was just like, I was like, what's happening right
through
now?
your
dude?
soul.
Man,
Wonder what he was looking at when you weren't looking at him.
he looks like, you remember Roger Rabbit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When the guy finally reveals himself as a cartoon.
Yeah.
He looks like the bad guy.
he does.
Or Bert or whichever, or the beep, 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 that guy. He looks like that guy.
Yeah.
The beeper or whatever the thing.
Oh, man. What the hell is that fucking thing?
I don't know. Either way.
I got one.
Okay.
Back in the day,
Back in the day.
freelancing, bro.
No, I don't know
I'm
about
just
that one.
kidding with you.
Kind of a bad one.
You don't want to do that. No. I think one thing that I like about the old school style firefighter was that it seems to have had all the tradition
Sure.
that we kind of get now. Because some of it's lost because, like you said, the phones and shit. You don't, like...
Yeah.
Like, there's not as much... it seemed like, at least from movies and shit I've watched and listened to the guys talk, there was a lot more outside of the station stuff that guys did together all the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a
All
lot
the
more.
time.
Well, we can't just... Unfortunately... Men had to adapt.
Yeah.
We got boned, dude.
Yeah.
Our generation, we got boned. Our dads could just go and be like, I'm working, and after work, I'm going to get a beer with the boys.
Yeah.
Now,
They ruined it for us, bro.
Yeah, they screwed us. They really set us up for failure with that. Now we have to be...
Perfect.
Yeah, so that is one thing that is definitely different, but it's awesome because we're more we're more in there, dads.
More cohesive.
Yeah.
You're you get to experience like dads are. It's like the percentage on it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like how much more involved they are these days.
How about super old school where the dad wasn't even in the delivery room? He was over at a bar smoking cigars with the guys.
Let me know when.
Yeah.
Let me know when he
Old
comes
school.
out. Buddy.
Yeah. Let me
That's
know
what
when my
made these
son's
women
born.
tough. That's what made these women tough, dude. They had to do it on their own.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of missed it a little bit. That was my first thought when I hired on. I had my son.
Sure.
So I was like very involved with him, and I missed a lot of what. And I would try to tell the young guys, like, dude, go do as much as you can with the guys that you have, that you're coming in with, because I didn't get to do all that.
Yeah.
I had so many responsibilities when I left work
Yep.
that it was hard. It was hard to get away. When you're young, man, get as involved as you can.
Yeah.
With the guys you work with.
That's a good way to do it. Like, yeah, if you're a young firefighter, like, there's a squad.
I watched you do it. You guys got to do it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
get connected with Murph and all
Sure,
those guys.
sure.
We're going out with them and stuff. I mean,
pal around with everybody.
I did, but just not to the extent. So I missed
yeah.
some of that. And so I think that might be where I kind of feel that
Yeah.
old school mentality of like connecting with the dudes
Sure.
in and outside of the work.
Well, those dudes, dude, they'd get off and they'd work together at the fire station, and then they'd go work together on their AC business, or they'd like, hey, I got to build a shop. You want to come help me? Like, yeah, sure. They'd be palling around doing shit together. But yeah, definitely do that while you're young, because I mean, especially what, dude.
Yeah, once family starts.
Once that
family
starts,
yeah.
and you
Yeah.
have like a house, like even a newer house, there's always something to do around it, or the yard always, there's always shit. Yeah, those old school dudes would fucking pal around all the time.
yeah. But you
drink heavy Budweisers and Miller High Lifes. and
it wasn't
shit.
as heavy back then. I
wasn't?
talked to my dad about it.
I don't know, man. I bet it was pretty.
It went
freaking
down
heavy.
smoother back then.
Cranking heaters, dude. Cranking some Winstons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely, the older I get though, the less bad I feel about going and doing stuff with my buddies.
Oh, yeah, sure.
As the family dynamic changes and the kids get older,
Yeah.
I can see how Stu's just like, I'm going in here to do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
These kids are teenagers now.
Yeah.
They got their
Yeah.
own lives going on.
yeah.
And that's a problem. That's kind of the tough part with being upstairs. Being like, I lost the palling around with the
Yeah.
boys.
It is isolating being
it is
upstairs.
very isolating. That's why I was asking you. I was like, what if we get rid of that little fella at 9s and I can hang out with you? Yeah.
So what stations would you go to if you
man.
could, I mean, would you?
There's
I guess you're not wanting to stay there as long as you thought you originally would.
I don't know yet. Maybe once I start doing the actual job, I think that'll kind of determine it. Because now, I mean, I've just been studying, and then I'll do some ride-alongs or whatever,
Yeah.
and kind of hang out. And come see you guys and shit. But I think I would go to Station 9, where Tim's going.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's where I'd go.
I don't want to go to Station 1. I don't want to go to Station 2. No Station 3. I'd go to Station 4.
So anywhere without a med unit, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
100%,
Yeah.
Tim. 100%. Sixes used to be awesome.
Yeah.
But now they got that med unit.
Man, I like ones in a way
No. Too many
on
Chiefs.
certain shifts.
Too many Chiefs lingering, dude. Lingering.
I think it's all about your approach.
And it's
Yeah, but
a
our
huge
Chiefs are
station.
changing, though.
They are changing.
You know?
That's true.
So that's,
Your brother's there.
Yeah.
I thought about going to that crew.
yeah.
That wasn't.
I did too.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad squad. Anyway.
So, but for now, you're
For now,
hanging out.
I'm hanging out
Yeah.
in the inspections office. We're doing our thing.
Hey, man, if you would have been at the station last night, you probably would have been like, I made the right decision.
Oh, yeah. Pretty bad one.
Yeah, the
said you
med unit.
Oh, yeah, you were on the engine last night.
I was on the
yeah,
engine.
okay. So you said you slept all night.
We made a pretty decent extrication, but that, it might have been like an hour and a half on that, but
Not bad.
that's all we did.
Did my partner dispatch you up there?
Who was your partner?
Hernandez.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't say
Spaniard's
Hernandez
dude.
fine, yeah.
Yeah,
Schmambert did.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah. Nick was like, yeah, we're way far away from that. And we get up to it, and I was like, we're first on scene. Cool. Cool.
Sweet.
Changed the way my mind is
Yep.
working now.
Rapidly putting your shit on.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm always geared up, but
I got
Always
something.
geared up.
You're not.
Go to the bathroom geared up.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves the Schroeder pod.
yeah.
Everybody's a big fan of that
dude.
one. You guys, if you haven't watched it, watch the Schroeder pod, which is the epic. We used ChatGPT to give us that title. Fireman's epic survival.
Yeah.
He was in a damn house fire.
Yeah.
So go watch that episode. Push that episode, for God's sake. Push that
Yeah.
damn episode.
Yeah.
'Cause
Our
that-
whole department's been asking about it. This
Yeah.
guy survived an actual flashover.
3 flashovers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And legitimately survived it.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear a story, you should check
So
that out.
If you're new to the podcast, which we've had a bunch of new members,
Yeah.
Just because they type something into YouTube,
Yeah.
our video pops up, they watch it. Go check out. We got like 2 years worth of videos.
Yeah.
And then Patreon. Go hit up Patreon. It's fun as hell.
Shout out to the motherfucking algorithm.
Yeah. So yeah, people are loving the Schroeder pod. Good idea on that one. I usually don't compliment you too much.
Yeah, thank you, good
Yeah.
sir.
So was that a Tanner original?
I think I just grew an inch.
It was
How about that?
6 to midnight. It was his idea.
Nice.
It was. Took a little bit to get it together. People were like, I think the first guest episode was a success.
Yeah.
People
I
want
think so.
People want more guests. The only problem I'm going to tell you guys right now, the problem with guest is
That thing.
With this, yeah.
Yeah.
This is one of the problems. We can only have so many. We have to upgrade this. What's that South Park episode? We're like, we're trying to buy a quantum phaser.
It's looking GoFundMe
What's
shit.
the church show?
Oh, man.
The church. Anyway, so we're trying to upgrade this so that we can have guests on. Also, when we have the guests have to be specific. Schroeder is a natural storyteller.
Oh,
he's
man.
also a natural maniac.
He's a maniac.
He's a character.
Crazy person.
So that's why that worked out well. Which we could have him back on.
Yeah, he even said he would come back on.
Yeah.
I was going to say do it on a Patreon. Let him
Yeah.
tell some
Oh,
crazy
dude.
wild
Oh,
stories.
my God,
Because
man.
Schroeder's got some...
He just has
dude.
stories.
Just
He's
from the-
got some stories.
Just from the snowboarding trips alone, I have stories.
God, what are you doing? Sleeping?
Yeah. You guys heard his voice. Now you know. So anyway, we're working on that. We're going to get some more guests. That would be fun. But they do have to be... We can't have some dud on here. You know?
Yeah.
So that would be
Some
pretty
lame.
pretty-
Some fucking lame.
Some nerd.
Bro.
Yeah. Anyway.
Any
so-
famous firemen out there we could... Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi. There
That
you go.
guy.
Hey, everybody tag Steve Buscemi. We'll see if we can get him out.
Buscemi. Shout out. You're awesome. Come be a guest on our podcast,
He
bro.
is. I got another old
Shane
school.
Gillis.
Shane Gillis. Yeah, Shane Gillis would be awesome.
Joe Rogan.
We're getting distracted.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I watched the guy from Tires with arthritis.
He's awesome, dude.
He was on Are You Garbage? I watched
I
it
love that
yesterday.
guy so much.
It was fucking hilarious, man. He is a maniac.
He's probably my favorite non-comedian funny
Yes,
guy.
He is
you
a
know?
comedian.
Is he?
Yes.
Does he do? He does comedy.
Yep. He used to. Now he's just,
Comedy.
After Tires, he's just chilling, dude.
Oh yeah.
They're like,
everybody loves him,
Dude,
dude.
they're like, "What's your day like?" He's like, "I don't know. I wake up and he's like, I stretch because he's got bad arthritis.
Yeah.
He's like, I stretch and I have some breakfast, and he's like, then I go play golf." And they're like, "Look at you, man, living the fucking dream."
He was on Andrew Schultz
Yep.
podcast,
yes,
right?
Flagrant, I think his name is. Yeah.
I didn't know that Shane Gillis paid for that whole first season out of pocket.
Really?
So
Yeah.
that
Man.
guy, his dad owned a tire shop.
Oh, Shane's did?
No. The guy, God, I forget his name. The guy,
Gerbs.
they call him like
Gerby Gerbs?
Yeah. His dad owned a tire shop, Valley Forge Tires.
No way.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so that's where
Nice.
it all came from. Anyway, old school versus new school. Jesus, if you want to listen to us rant and rave about Patreon, hit up Patreon. We're trying to stay on track on these damn episodes. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So more brains over brawn these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is it's a good and a bad
Technology,
thing, man. Technology is
The
really...
tick.
The tick, yeah. But I
book,
think
I mean-
I'm talking like people-wise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got these
yeah.
nerds showing up liking Magic and World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely... There is a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
These guys
I
are,
think so.
you get these new guys and they're like, I want to be a YouTube streamer. Mm-hmm. The next thing, like one of the best back end guys we got, like works on fuel pumps and shit. Yeah, that old shout out to JD.
Yeah,
dude.
JD.
Yeah.
Man.
Some of
JD.
these,
God, and he was a Marine.
And he's a Marine.
He has infidel tattooed on him. I think I want to have that tattoo so bad. In the background, I'm like, I can't get it. I can't get it.
it's not too late for you to join the Marines.
I know. Oh no, dude! My spare time has been watching drill instructors just like, crawl into people.
Yep.
It is the funniest shit I've ever seen, dude.
What if we, how much would we have to pay you to join the Marines for 4 years?
Oh my god!
You get paid while you're there.
Yeah.
And you get to keep your job.
Yeah, but we'll start a GoFundMe.
If to join the Marines,
Yeah.
I'd probably do it.
Right,
for,
there's a war about to happen.
yeah. Dude, that would suck so bad.
Yes, it would.
I wouldn't take anything less than $500,000.
Damn.
So we'll start a
Pricey.
GoFundMe. The problem with joining the
Yeah.
Marines now is, how old are you?
I'm 30.
40?
I'm
Okay.
30. So I'm going to be getting yelled at by some fucking
Yep.
25-year-old.
Dude, I don't know how people did it.
No.
Like, whenever I was in the military, and there's like 34-year-old men getting screamed at.
You just have to swallow your ego.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
like, in a sense, you know, if a 38-year-old guy or a
Mm-hmm.
42-year-old guy, if we did that, if we weren't civil service or whatever, if we hired a guy right off the street, became a fireman, I'd be like, you might know whatever fucking dumb job you were doing before this was, but you don't know shit about this.
Yeah.
I might be younger, but I'm gonna still crawl on your ass if you do something gets us
course.
in danger or whatever. They does something dumb.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You'd have to throw your ego out the door.
You would
now I
have
would
to.
probably laugh a lot,
Yeah.
That would
and
be
they
your
would
problem, dude.
probably
Yeah.
kick my
They
ass.
would. They would. They'd be screaming at you. You're like,
Did your voice crack right there, buddy?
Your voice crack a little. They beat the shit out of you, dude.
I watched one that made me laugh so hard. They were like, you could tell they just smoked them.
Oh yeah.
And these guys, they were like, hold your paper. Like, they had their like some piece of paper. They had document, they had form, and they had to hold it. And like these kids are just crying because their shoulders were just done.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's just paper. It's just paper. What's wrong with you? And I was like, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's just these guys,
how your
and they're like,
algorithm
they're just crying, because
dude.
they're so young and stupid.
Their
those
algorithm,
kids.
your algorithm is just now Marine drill sergeants yelling at young kids. Interesting.
It's the funniest shit in the
You
world to
wouldn't make
watch.
it, man. You'd be.
Oh, dude,
That's something we could do
I
to
don't
see
know.
who can hold up a piece of paper
the longest.
That's
Oh
pretty funny,
yeah,
actually.
Yeah. Do like a crazy shoulder workout, then
Yeah.
just
Oh,
be
man.
sweating.
Oh, our drinking game is coming in the mail.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yep, drinking game's coming in the mail.
That's what we need to do. We haven't done a game in a
know,
while.
man.
Yeah.
Games are the most fun on this.
We have
thing.
categories we need to do. We might do that one next, like next time we shoot, because it'll just take a little bit more editing.
Yeah.
Editing's been a freaking nightmare recently.
Yeah.
Anyway, God dog, we're going off track again. Let me knock out some. Hey, everybody, it's that time. Shout out to our sponsor, Garage Man. Were you pointing at the mug?
No, that was a garage opener.
Oh, your garage door. Jesus. Anyway, shout out to our sponsor, Garage Man. They've sent me some stories about people hitting them up after seeing them on the podcast. They're the eBay for used fire equipment. If you guys need to sell an apparatus, if you're looking for an apparatus, they can cut the price. I mean, it's insane. Like the price difference between a brand new $1.3 million engine. And these guys can get you an awesome engine for $3,000, for $300,000, and then you put some money into it, and it's basically a brand new engine.
Yeah.
They recently just helped out a bigger department in Texas. Like so many departments around the country, these guys were getting cents on the dollar for some of their engines, man.
Yeah.
They switched over to Garage's nationwide auction. So they have like a tool, you can auction off and get an estimate for your engine. And they've sold 6 trucks now. So they've sold 4 tankers and 2 engines in the last 2 months, and they got triple for what they've gotten in the past.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So big department in Texas just sold 6 trucks. And
Wow.
Garage, like they're all the tools that they have online, it's so easy, it's so simple. Like they do everything for you basically.
Yeah.
So if you're a department that's required to sell via auction, check out Garage Auctions. Tap into the nationwide demand and get your truck sold quickly and compliantly.
Nice,
So,
man.
yeah, you guys hit them up, man. They've been awesome sponsors.
One thing I thought about, and me and Murph kind of talked about it the other day, was the reserves are always better.
Old school.
They're always better. And so I'm thinking like,
Less
you're
crap
gonna
to go through.
You're going to get a cheaper apparatus that will work
Yeah.
and be a lot easier to maintain.
Doesn't have to regen.
Dude, these new ones are crazy.
They suck. Talk to your chief. Be like, hey, Garage, man. Listen, we need to get these old trucks sold. Hit up Garage.
Hit up the bros.
Yeah, hit up
Yeah.
the bros.
Hit
at
up the
Garage. Yeah,
bros.
they're cool as shit, man. So anyway, shout out to Garage, our sponsor. Thank you.
Shout out.
Fade in,
Yes.
fade in. Yeah.
What's y'all's opinion on old versus new firefighting techniques?
Ugh.
Well,
Dude, it's hot. You put water on it.
I do like some of the science based stuff as far as like, hey,
Me too.
they figured out you can't push fire with water.
Yeah.
They figured out, hey, if there's fire coming through the window, spray some water on
Yeah.
it, then go in.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's just so many times that we have seen people get yelled at back in the day for doing stuff like that.
Yep.
And now it's like, oh, you can do that. It's fine.
Or
yeah.
Or like, how about? It's funny how like when you're doing all these advancements, we're so progressive, we think we know everything.
Yep.
Well, turns out
It's all wrong.
They knew what the hell they were doing
Yeah.
150 years ago
Yeah, dude.
when it was reset the fire and go in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out that's like the best thing you can do.
Yep.
Was how they did it 200-300 years ago. And it's like, no, yeah, these SCBAs, that's a weird one, right? It's a double-edged sword.
SCBAs?
Yeah,
I mean, SCBAs are pretty good.
They're good, but
Yeah, yeah.
at the same time, it allowed you to be in a worse environment longer.
Oh, an SCBA.
I think that's your PPE.
I think I'm down for the.
Are you
SC.
tracking what I'm saying? I'm not saying that
yeah,
they're a bad thing.
Yeah,
I guess
but
what I'm saying is
it lets you
the
get yourself
technique-
deeper in
exactly
into a bad
Oh, yeah,
situation.
yeah,
Yeah,
That
No,
was like-
I get that, but I'm still going to take an air pack over breathing.
Yeah,
smoke.
Yeah, no. That's like
I had
the
to think for a second.
Yeah.
the idea of like the reason our fatalities have like firefighter fatalities haven't really gone down.
Yeah, because we're further in.
Because we're further in.
Yeah.
You know, so how do you adjust that? And it's like, you know, that's why there's a big push right now to hit it hard from the yard. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Not me.
There's a push for that.
Yeah, like they call it, you know, transitional, right? Because the whole idea is water on the fire is the one thing that makes it better. You just said it.
Sure.
Going inside of a structure when you don't pass fire up. You know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
if someone yelled at me now,
Yeah.
like if someone yelled at me and I'm going into a house fire, me
Yeah.
and Tim are going in, and he got mad at me for spraying water as we're going in.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like, well, looks like you can write me up because I don't give a shit.
yeah,
You know?
and I mean that's kind of one of those situations where suck it, Tim. You see these,
Lighten you up.
yeah, you see these videos where these guys they go. The door is an inferno,
Yeah.
and they just go through it with a hose. I'm like, you hit it with a couple of fucking, give them a couple of tutors, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, we got to find the scene of the fire. I'm like,
You're
on
right
it.
there.
It's everywhere.
Spray it.
You found it. Also, it's like you're supposed to save people, right?
is the
That's
video
idea.
rad? Absolutely, dude. You're going into the fucking dragon's mouth.
Doing it for the clicks.
But
you
also
know?
just hit him with a little bit. Just give him a pencil. Yeah. Hey, I'm an inspector. What do I know,
yeah.
man? Yeah. But yeah, I think that is that's pretty good, Tim.
smooth bore or fog, bro.
Oh, God.
Dude. We're not
yeah.
smooth bore.
I'll answer the phone. You figure that out.
Smooth gay. Yeah. God, I'm
that's
so
funny.
tired of that.
We
dude.
were just like, we were talking about that at the station the other day.
Yeah, our captain loves a smooth
Yeah, they
bore,
do.
dude. He loves a blue line with a smooth bore on it.
I told him
I
we
hate it.
we swapped into a reserve, I guess, and I was checking the equipment off, and I was like, we don't have a smooth bore on the blue line. He was like, what?
Mother of God.
We're out of service.
Out of service. We're going to the shop. Fuck.
It made me laugh. I was like, nice. Of course, I'm a team player. I'm like,
Yeah.
we should have a smooth bore.
Dude, he
on it.
loved pulling that damn blue line. Maybe I can
Yeah.
pull the blue line. I'm like, come on, man. I like to stick and move. I can't do it with this thing.
Yeah.
I'll help you.
Yeah.
He did. He did.
Oh, Murphy was telling us they trained at like 9 o'clock at night the other day.
Oh,
What?
On C shift, yeah.
doing what?
They did like a full rope rescue class on C shift the other day. Dude.
At
That's
11?
old Schmilbeck.
Oh, I was laughing so hard because
That's crazy as shit.
they said it was because it was hot outside all day, which I kind of get. But at the same
What?
time, it would have been
dark. It's nighttime.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
I wish he would answer his phone so I could call him and be like, Murph, did this happen? I wish he would answer his phone so I could be like, what the
It
fuck,
did.
man?
It did. And I think they did rookie training all day too.
Dude.
Ugh.
So, and
If
he's
you try to get me to do some rope rescue training at 9 p.m.
It was late. I think it was late. Yeah, I think they said they stopped at like 10:15.
Oh, dude.
I think it was like a
What?
culmination of like 8 or 9 hours of training.
Dude,
all day long.
imagine being in your bed or like showered, you're about to go to sleep, and this captain from another shift comes in. He's like, "Hey, we got to go outside. We're gonna do some training real quick."
I think it was more along the lines like Murph was like, "Where is everybody?"
Oh, he went out there and
And he
found
went
them.
out there. They were doing the
I
training.
would've been like,
point, you
"Yep."
can't-
Yeah.
See, at that point, I can't just be like, all right, I'm going back inside now.
Yeah.
You see them.
Yeah, me and him were both saying that. I was like, I can't turn away.
Yeah.
after that. But he did say, shout out to Schmeaton.
Schmeaton. Yep.
He did put on a decent little rope rescue class. So shout out to Seaton.
Sure.
You could have learned something if he
Nah,
were
I
here.
can tie damn bowling, clove hitch, square knot. I can tie more knots than you.
Oh, I doubt it, bro.
I know
Quickest
it.
knot tire in the West,
You are not,
bro.
No. You are not.
Yeah. Think so?
Yes. I know so.
We can test that theory. I was trying to think of something to say, but I couldn't think of anything.
I could
dude.
tell.
My mind just went.
Let's see. I got like one more.
What is this for? Incense or some shit?
I don't know. It was holding the SD
decoration.
card. Oh, dude, that's what I got. We found the thing.
Nice. Where was
We
it?
found the SD card holder.
Where the hell was it?
Guess who hid it?
Who? Griffin.
Melissa.
Oh,
Put it.
Where'd she hide it?
in the bathroom cabinet.
You were so blaming that on me.
I
dude.
was 100% because you lost it last time. It was jammed between two books, dude.
I admitted that.
And Melissa's like, "Hey, don't be mad at me. I found the SD card holder." I was like,
Why
"Where?"
did you put it in there?
She put it. She was like cleaning up in here. She was like cleaning up over here and like put it in that cabinet.
She was like, you know what? You know where this thing should go?
Yeah,
in the
bathroom.
cabinet.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Where it belongs.
I was just like, sweet.
That's so funny.
Why is everyone against me?
See, you blame me so fast. You just you
yeah.
shouldn't do that, bro.
Yeah.
Don't do that to your friends.
I also I put a screenshot of our text message the other day.
on Instagram. Yeah, I saw that. And TJ saw it. He was like, "Boy, you guys really love each other, huh?" I was like, so hard, dude. So hard.
People were, I said, dude, people sent me all kinds of messages. They were like, same as our station, man. I was like, yep, nice.
Yep.
Oh, dude.
What they don't understand, man, I wish people had context of our group message. I really did.
No, I know. They don't.
They would understand me a whole lot better. I
if
feel
they did.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Real quick, it's the end of the episode. I got some.
Oh, shoot.
Stand by.
It's the end of the episode.
All right, what are we doing?
So they eradicated
I don't be easy.
crabs.
What?
Did you know that? In the
No.
80s, like in the 80s or 90s, like everyone was shaving, so there was no more crabs.
Yeah, so now it's gone.
I thought you
It's
said
like it got rid of crabs.
I thought
Like
you
people were
said
like just
krauts.
they
I
got
was
rid
like,
of them.
easy.
No. Did you know that? Like
I
when it
did
was
not.
a trend to shave, everyone was
Yeah.
shaving, so the crabs had nowhere to go. They just
So-
died.
I got everybody.
I
some,
don't
I
know
got,
that that's true.
I got everybody some podcast gifts.
Oh.
these are
Tim Tams.
these are Tim Tams. These
Okay.
are one of if you're a listener from I think these are
I'm so hungry
Australian
right now.
or
I have
British?
never
I
had
don't
a
know.
Tim Tam.
Got them. HEB's got them. Tim Tam is my favorite, like chocolatey, awesome candy.
Nice.
I got some from Murph and Stu, but they are of course
They're not here. They
They're
don't
not
get
here
any.
today. Wait a second.
What are the macros like on this?
They're not good. They're not good. I got Murph some hydraulic from Axe and Sledge. Shout out to Axe and Sledge supplements. We usually
Hydraulic.
yeah, it's awesome.
That's mine
It's
now.
good pre-workout stuff. Let's see what we got. Got everybody some. This I paid for this with podcast money, not my
Oh,
own.
man.
Nice,
I
man.
got Stu a T-shirt.
Is that Dolly
It
Parton?
is
Nice.
a Dolly Parton T-shirt.
That's
One of
awesome.
Stu's favorites.
Nice, man.
He, of course, is not here. Got
That would've
Tim
been
a
nice.
sweet T-shirt.
Oh.
Let's go, Tim.
Let's see.
What is it? I'm excited for you too.
Oh, hell
A
yeah.
classic
Space
Tim
Turtles.
T-shirt. That's pretty rad. Turtles howling at the moon.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice, Tim.
And then I got old Chubbs.
Oh, hey.
Cast
Sweet
iron.
nice,
Lodge
man.
cast iron.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
That thing's the best for cooking a pizza.
Pizza, bro.
That's
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
I'm so bad at gifts, dude. I wish I was as good as you. Thank you, dude. This
man.
is awesome. This is awesome.
Heck yeah, man.
I'm testing this out tonight.
Yeah, everybody's working hard on the podcast. We had
Dude,
to
thank
give
you.
the boys a couple things and keep up the good work. We're crushing
hell
it.
yeah.
You guys are the best. We wouldn't be here without
Hell yeah,
the
dude.
fans and yeah. Thank you guys so
Nice,
much.
man. Nice.
Boom. What the hell was that?
Yeah, that was
You
the.
trying to fuck with me? I'm taking away that fucking cast iron.
Dude, I really thought, I legitimately thought he was about to hand all these gifts out. He's like, "Oh, I ain't got you. I'm gonna get you one of those."
Damn it, that
Really
would've been
shows
awesome.
where your head goes.
Oh,
Well, you
man.
really ruined a good moment, and so that's
Thanks,
perfect.
man. Thank you. This
of
is
course.
awesome.
So anyway, that's the end. Let us know if we forgot some stuff. I know we did. Check out Patreon. Patreon is cooking. Keep pushing episodes to people who haven't seen us. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate the hell out of the support. And we're about to shoot a Patreon and have a fucking
Hell
fudge
yeah,
and
dude.
blast. Anyway,
Fudge and blast.
thank you guys. We'll catch you next time.
Yep.
Thanks,
See y'all
guys.
later.
Later.